Okay, usually I'm kind of messing around in these videos. This one is serious. Get your notebook out, okay? Pay attention because this is like the be-all, end-all of my driving tier list, right? I've made plenty of these about bad, good driving, good stuff to do, bad stuff to do, whatever, right? I'm always making these tier lists. This one's important, okay? Because this is the stuff that actually gets you killed on the roads. I'm going to go through each and every one of these tiers, break it down for you so that you guys can be safer drivers. Avoid these things if you value your life, because personally I do as well. Also, advertisements out of the way now. Join the Instagram, join the Discord. Let's get into the video. Now, yes, we are talking about the dangerous driving habits, as I said, the ones that may get you killed. We are starting at the bottom. It's not that bad. Working our way up here. You guys are perfectly literate, so you guys can see the tiers here. Let's get into this video. Starting off, this one is so looked over so often. We got driving tired. Now, here's the problem with driving tired is when someone has a certain blood alcohol content or something like that, you can easily ticket them like that. But with driving tired, there's not much you can do. It's like, oh, how many hours of sleep did you get tonight? That's not a question the officer is going to ask you or can prove or really anything. The problem here is that there's nothing stopping you except when it goes really wrong, right? So a lot of people, they're busy. I don't know what they're doing, staying up late, and you don't get much sleep, okay? Life's busy. I know. And you hop on the road next day, rocking like 2 hours of sleep. It's very dangerous. There's studies that show that lacking that much sleep is comparable to having like a pretty high BAC. I don't want to say it too much in case YouTube demonetizes this stuff. If you are really running late, pop a Monster or just get better sleep. You cannot be driving all groggy and stuff. It's how accidents happen, okay? Your senses are dulled, your reaction times are delayed, or in the worst case, you might fall asleep at the wheel and crash, okay? And that's the best case, that you just crash, you wake up, and you're like, oh, whoops, and you come out fine, okay? It could get a lot worse than that. I'm going to put this at insanely reckless. Next up, another common one that slips under the radar is neglecting maintenance. So a lot of you guys just do not take care of your cars in terms of the basic maintenance things. Now, I'm not talking about your Subaru engine going to blow. I'm talking about wear and tear of common things, okay? So we're talking mostly tires and then maybe some like brake pads, but mostly tires. Your tires are your point of contact between you and your 4,000-pound car and the roads. Check up on your tires. Make sure you're changing them out the recommended amount. While you can get away with, like, you don't have to freak out if your tires are on their way out, but it can be very dangerous. So it's going into dangerous. Next up, okay, this, every time I mention this, everyone piles on me in the comments. We're talking about speeding, but not just any speeding. We are talking about excessive, reckless speeding. Now, I've said many times, and I continue to stand by this, if you are in an area where the limits are known to be slow, where the cops are not going the limit, where the cops don't pull for you going a bit over the limit, it is okay to push it a bit. Use context, use your head, okay? Push it a little at your own risk, but push it a little, right? I don't want you getting pulled and blaming me. But there's a certain point where it crosses the line, not really a point, more of an area where it goes from chill speeding to like, okay, it's technically speeding, but is it really, to absolutely reckless speeding? You're thinking, who actually does this, right? It's actually a lot more common than you think. As a certified broccoli-haired 19-year-old, I have fellow friends that are also a similar type, right? It's a phenomenon. We stick together like a pack of wolves. Now, guys that look like me aren't known to be the smartest, okay? So when I hang around these types of people, even though they're good guys in like pretty much every other way, you hear a lot of stories or you witness them going crazy speeds. And it's just like, man, it's all chill. It's all fun and games until it's not. So yes, I always tell people, you could push the limit a bit if it's within reason and it's in the right area. But if it's excessive speeding, it's fatal. Next up, on the absolute reverse end, driving too slow. Now, this is also bad. Here's why. You're going places, especially, I see this most on highways. When you're going on places like highways or kind of major roads, there's an expected flow, right? So if you're breaking that, it's going against the flow. People are going to have to go around you. It just creates a mess and a headache. Additionally, if it's a one-lane road, then it's going to cause people to do kind of dangerous things to get around you because they have to. And obviously, that's within their control and that's their fault technically. But you're the root of the cause if you're driving too slow. Do not go slower than the speed limit, okay? Do not. So it's not incredibly dangerous, but it still is dangerous, and most of all, very annoying. I'm going to put it in dangerous. Next up, we have prematurely making a left turn at an intersection. This is like the most common way I see personally of accidents happening. Now, I'm going to try and explain this the best I can, but basically, if you're making a left turn at an intersection, right, and it turns yellow, you have to wait until the oncoming cars have either stopped or gone through, okay? You cannot guess. You cannot start to go when they're still going. You have to wait until you know oncoming cars are done going through the intersection. So even if that means waiting till the light turns near red, or even if it's red, you're entitled to stay there until you know it's safe to make your left turn. But what happens is a lot of people think that, oh, as soon as it turns yellow, I'm in the intersection waiting to make my turn, I can just go. No, okay? It is going to be your fault. So wait until the car has gone through, then make your left turn. Doesn't matter if you technically run a red, you are entitled to sit in the intersection until you know it's safe to make your left turn. This seems like something that's harmless. Oh, I'm just turning left when it's yellow, but it's super, super risky. I'm going to put it in insanely reckless. Next up, I have to throw one in for the non-drivers because some people don't drive and watch my videos, and this is for the pedestrians, okay? And this is wearing all black fits at night. Now, this seems so harmless. What's the big deal, right? But if you're going for a walk at night and you're in complete black, you are not visible to cars, okay? Yes, you have right of way, but what good is right of way when they're going to hit you? There are ways to mitigate this. Like I walk with, a black t-shirt on at night. It's no big deal, but you have to be careful. A lot of these pedestrians, I threw this in here because a lot of these pedestrians think they are invincible, that drivers will always see them. That's just not the case, especially at night. I'm going to put this in risky. Next up, DUIs. Like, bro, come on. Don't even have to explain this one. I think DUIs are involved in like 33, like a third of fatal car incidents. And I can tell you a lot less than a third of drivers are under the influence at any given time. So there should be no explanation. This is the top of fatal. One-handed driving, it's chill, bro. Should you ideally 9 and 3? Yes. But is it the end of the world if you don't always every second of the day? No. Next up, driving too fast for bad weather conditions. Now look, if it's a bright bluebird day, I will drive a reasonable speed. But if there's any sort of rainfall, I know that these city roads are uneven, that divots can fill up with water and make you hydroplane, especially on the highway, and I will be right on the limit, okay? And by law, you are actually supposed to do this, okay? Even go below the limit. You're by law allowed to do that if the conditions permit for it. It's one thing when it's a bright, sunny day and you're going below the limit, but when it's raining or snowing or there's bad weather conditions, you have to be going slow, okay? You never know at what point your car could give out. It happens like that. If you're ripping in rain or snow, heavy rain, like it's just so bad, man. You have no idea what's going to happen until it happens, until it's too late. That's when you learn your lesson. This is going to insanely reckless. Okay, passing on the oncoming lane. Now, a lot of people don't know it's actually more legal than you think to do this. So I don't know about where you're from. Do your own research. But in BC, if you have a single yellow line, which is basically just the standard line that divides most one lane on each side roads, you are allowed to pass if it is safe to do so. If someone is going incredibly slow and it's wide open, it's actually perfectly fine. Now, the key is it can't be on blind corners. Don't do it near intersections, and don't do it if the person's actually going at decent speed. But if they're going excessively slow, that's completely fine. However, there are instances where people take this too far. So at the end of the day, it is at your own risk. It is risky, but if you do it right, there's nothing wrong with passing someone on the oncoming lane. Just be careful. And to add to this, I think what causes more accidents in these scenarios is when the person who is being passed speeds up to block them from passing. That's what's more risky. But if you're going slow, someone passes you, that's chill. Don't worry about it. You're probably just going too slow. So I'm going to put that in risky. Next up, similar to the pedestrian one I mentioned earlier, forgetting to turn your headlights on. Now, it's one thing when you're a pedestrian, all right, you're agile, you can be careful. But when you're driving a 5,000-pound machine with absolutely zero lights, just know that that's such a hazard. I don't really feel like I have to explain this one too much. Put on your lights, okay? There's a reason cops take it so hard for this, going right into dangerous. Next up, loud music. Is it annoying? Yes, but as long as you can hear sirens and horns, it's not too big of a deal. So, I don't know, keep it chill, but usually your music taste sucks, so just keep it down for me. Last but not least, distracted driving. Now, here's how distracted driving works, okay? You start by saying, oh, I'll never distracted drive. You get your license, you're like, I'm never going to. But then you're like, one day you get a text or a Snapchat or whatever the kids are doing these days, and you quickly check your phone. You're like, oh, it's no big deal. Just like at a stoplight, right? You'll quickly hop on. Then slowly it turns out, oh, now I want to change the song. And it's like, oh, well, I'm moving, but I need to adjust the maps. And you slowly build yourself up until it's like just a habit, okay? And this is why you need to cut phone use anytime you do it, okay? Pull over if you have to. I know it seems extreme, but if you have to use your phone, pull over. There's a reason cops ticket for this so hard. Does it seem extreme when you get a massive ticket for like changing the song at a stoplight? Absolutely, okay? That itself I don't agree with, but I do agree with the idea that if you ticket at that point, then it will stop the people who are driving with their phones, which is actually extremely dangerous. Your phone literally just sucks all your tension away. So if you're operating a moving vehicle, which is something you need to put in your head more often, is that you're driving a 5,000-pound like weapon pretty much, and you're on your phone scrolling TikTok or whatever, like stop, okay? We know no girls are texting you. Nothing's happening. You got no motion, okay? So put your phone away, put your music on, throw it in the back seat if you have to. If you actually are on your phone when you're driving, terrible. I'm putting it in, we'll finish off with insanely reckless. If you guys enjoyed this video, then you will enjoy all my other videos. And I just keep posting. I don't stop, okay? Hairline reveal is coming. I'm hyped for it. What's under here? Who knows? I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.